Good afternoon from a very dreary and wet, overcast Wales. We're planning a little bit of a trip away, and we realise that we've got a camera on here, but it's not the best. It's kind of up there at the way, a little bit of a blurry image, getting on in years, probably needs replacing. So what we've got today that I'm going to install and we're going to do a review of from Autovox, so thanks very much to Autovox for sending it to us, is a wireless reversing camera. That's it. Wireless reversing camera, solar powered, or if there's not enough solar, you can actually plug it in a USB port there, C adapter, and charge it up. And it attaches quite simply to your number plate. You've got to take your number plate off because this hooks over it, or you can mount it wherever you want really on your van. But I think the number plate is quite a good place for us because then it gives us the distance we can see when we're reversing. So I'm going to fit this and then we'll just do it bit by bit. But the installation instructions that I've unusually read are very simple. There's not an awful lot to install. So let's get cracking. Ew. Give that a little clean while we're in there. In the book it says you can install it using the number plate, hook it over the top or bottom, and use the existing screws to secure it, using also the sticky tape. Now if I did that, it wouldn't quite fit on this one because of the location of the number plate, and you've also got to be mindful that it doesn't obscure your number plate lamps. So if I put it on the top, it would obscure those and it wouldn't quite fit on the bottom. So what I'm going to do, because it's just a plastic panel, it's open to the elements on the inside, I've stuck it on there, and what I'm going to do is just put a couple of screws and washers to hold it in place, and that's it done. It's on permanent, and that's it. Easy fit. You can either trust the adhesive, which is pretty rock solid, there's no weight to the camera, but for me, a little bit of peace of mind, I'm going to drop a screw in there. Looking at it, I don't think there was any need for me to take the number plate off, so I probably could have got away with it. Yeah, no need to do that because that's the ideal placement there. I could move it down, you can see the problem. So it might not be a perfect fit on this van, but you don't have to fit it on the number plate. That's just a recommendation. So let's get a screw, couple of washers, pin it in, number plate on, plug it in, job done. So that's it installed. A couple of screws through the plastic, which I can feel on the other side. Everything is external, so this is not going to affect the inside. No need to use sealant, it's just a plastic bumper like all the other screws that I've gone through here. It's nothing, it's just a little bit of plastic. No need to seal them up. Get the number plate on. So that's the back camera installed, and what I've got now is just to install the monitor, which is a very neat modern looking piece of kit. And it comes with its power supply, which is your standard cigarette lighter, and on the end of that you also get your USB connection. So I've just plugged it in and it's working straight away. It's connected, no problem whatsoever. I can see the image is upside down, so I'm just going to go into the settings and flip that so it's in the right orientation. And also I need just to adjust the camera so I can see exactly the bits where it's helpful for when you're reversing. So that's it all fitted, and that's my existing camera, which is just washed out and blurry. It's old and done for. It does need replacing, and I'll probably get around to doing it. But saying that, I've got this camera now and the view on it is perfect. You can see it's got the grid lines for reversing. All I need to do now is just adjust the camera's angle so I can see exactly where I'm reversing to. And all you need to do on the side, there's just buttons where you can select your options from a reset. You can turn your guideline off or on. You've got the reversing time. So what that allows you to do is once you press a button on this monitor, or the cigarette lighter, there's a button on there, it turns it on and it will remain on for a period of time, so you can set it to what you choose. So the choices are, there we go, there's your reversing time. You can have it on for a minute, a minute and a half or 2 minutes. That way it conserves power, it connects to the camera on the back, and you know, the monitor takes its power from the cigarette lighter. Your other choices you've got are MU control, so that's whether it's you mirror it or upside down it, depending on where you fit the camera, and also your brightness control, brightness and contrast, and that's it. That's all you need. So I'm just going to go out and adjust it, but yeah, there is a huge difference between that which is up so high anyway, it's kind of out the way and had its day, and that is actually down at low level. So you can see, like, I've reversed this van before and I've hit low boulders, low walls that you get sometimes in park up places. So I think having a camera at the bottom is of great value and benefit. So I'm just going to adjust it and we'll see where we're at. Whilst I was out doing that, it did what it's meant to do. So the red light indicates it's on, but it's turned itself off after 90 seconds. So if I want to see where I'm reversing to, you just press one button and there it is. So it's paired with itself and there it is. So it's just reconnected with itself, so it's not on all the time. It's purely on and drawing when the camera is in use. And as you can see, what I've done, I've lowered it. That little black bit there is the socket from my tow bar. So that really does now give me a bird's eye view of where I'm reversing to. You know, I was thinking about putting in reverse sensors, but this, because it's wireless and it's at the touch of a button, and it was so simple to install, it was just really stick that on the back, plug the monitor into a socket, and there you go, job done. It's super simple, and I gotta say, I'm impressed with it, really impressed. I've got my other monitor, which isn't the best, but I'll keep that for now, because as with every product, it's nice to do a proper review, not just install it and say, this is wonderful, it's really working. Let's see how it works. We're off on a trip, so we can do a further update, but in terms of installation, simplicity to use, yeah, superb. No wires, nothing. You can either stick it onto the plastic of your van, you can plonk it where you want. There we go, it's just shut down by itself. So it's on standby. The other thing it does, if you turn it off, so I've just turned the ignition off, if I start turn the engine back on again, along with everything in the van, all the electrics, it reconnects itself, and that'll stick on for 90 seconds, or as I said, you can choose a minute or 2 minutes. There we go, that's everything else kicking off in the van as well. So I'm going to give this a review, give it a proper test, and if it continues to impress like it does, it's going to be goodbye to that old bit of kit and hello to the new bit. I guess the only difference is with this, it doesn't come on when you engage reverse. You've got to press a button. But that's no real hardship, is it? Because you've got to engage reverse using the gear stick, and I've put it within reach. So, you know, if you're going to mount it, you need to make sure it's in reach of the driver. So you just simply press a button and then it comes on. And a quick revisit to the camera. It's, as I said, it's screwed in place, stuck in place. On the side is your charging port. The lead with that comes, so you'll need, if you ever need to recharge the battery, you'll need a small sort of power bank, or, you know, the little portable handheld devices just to plug it in whilst you're not in motion. On the top, not much good today, but that is a solar panel. So sunnier climes and brighter days, it will recharge itself. And on the side, just here, is the on-off button. Now it's currently on, and I turned it on and the red light flashes for it to pair with the camera. The recommendation is, if you're not going to use your motorhome for a couple of weeks, turn it off. That way it's not using sort of standby mode, ready to activate and pair with the monitor. Just turn it off ready, or leave it on, rely on solar, but at the moment, as I said, it's not particularly great in Wales. It's a bit grey and overcast, but so far, yep, installation easy and looking good. So once again, thank you very much to Autovox.